Gilbert Doctorow, thank you for joining us with your perspective on that story. Moving on now, Israeli airstrikes on Gaza have intensified with more than 100 Palestinians killed in the last 24 hours. This comes as part of Israel's new offensive, Operation Gideon's Chariots. Thousands have been ordered to flee northern Gaza, and local health authorities are reporting that Israel's Air Force has killed at least 58 people in overnight attacks. Gaza's Civil Defense Agency is struggling to rescue those trapped under the rubble with continuous Israeli bombardment preventing access. The Red Crescent has urgently called for Israel to reopen crossing points to allow much needed humanitarian aid, warning that Gaza is left to starve and ache. In a related development, in fact, now the UN aid chief Tom Fletcher has stated that the UN is ready to send 160,000 pallets of relief to Gaza, but is concerned that political delays are preventing action. Meanwhile, reports suggest that US President Trump's administration has been reported to be working on a controversial plan to relocate up to 1 million Palestinians from Gaza to Libya, though the US has denied these claims. More than 50 Israeli hostages are still with Hamas. Their families are still reaching out to the Israeli Prime Minister for help. Ahmed Fatou, spokesperson for the Fatah movement, is joining us live from Ramallah. Ahmed, thank you for being with us today on the broadcast. How do you view this latest offensive by Israel, which shows obviously that the war continues unabated?
Hi, thank you for having me. This is an extensive bombardment over Gaza that's killing civilian children, women without any remorse. The strikes is whipping out. They have whipped out Rafah completely, the south of Gaza. It is a war crime that is unprecedented. This is the first time a colonial case where they do not hide their war crimes. It is right in front of our eyes, in the open, targeting hospitals, and then issue lies that was exposed by media like Sky News that exposed the Israeli lie that it was targeting not the tunnels, but actually targeting hospital for no reasons. The north is under unprecedented genocide and massacre after massacre. Gazans are moving from the north toward the south, looking for safety, but there's no safe zone in the entire Gaza Strip. More than 2 months of blockade, no humanitarian aid, no food. People are grinding pasta and some lentils to make bread, and that is a catastrophe before our eyes. The entire world is shocked. Now, even the United States have issued many statements condemning these crimes. It is unspeakable crimes we are witnessing right now, deliberately killing civilians for no actual reason.
Emma, the United States president, of course, was on a tour to the Middle East, but there seems to have been no progress in the talks that he held with either of the three nations on the situation in between Israel and Hamas. There seems to be no movement to any sort of ceasefire, at least in those deliberations. This Middle East tour was being looked at very, very closely for what it would delve upon on the conflict in Israel as well. Meanwhile, there are reports which have emerged that the US is planning to relocate certain civilians in Gaza to Libya. What do you make of those reports, and also the lack of any progress during the United States president's visit?
These plans are nonsense. The Palestinian people are deeply rooted in their lands, and we are unmovable. We demand our freedom, we demand our independence, and no one can accept the mass expulsion of Palestinians. We're talking about 1 million. This is nonsense, and I don't believe that any serious politician would even think of such plans. Now, of course, the Israeli occupation is aiming to move and transfer the Palestinian people. The very plan of its Gideon Chariots is to create horror and massive destruction in Gaza and terrorize the people, to push them to the south. And by blockading the aid or militarizing the aid, that would create the conditions to make Gaza unlivable, then provide what they call as voluntarily immigration, which actually not voluntarily, it's immigration under the point of the gun. We can't see these plans. Our people are steadfast, and the entire world right now is against this. The last joint statement between Spain, Iceland, Ireland, Norway, and the others has declared clearly that these consider a serious crimes and jeopardizing the entire region and the entire peace and also violating all UN resolutions. The United States might not have taken any serious political decision, but it showed some improvements in their position to the war of Gaza. Witkoff has said that the war of Gaza is becoming pointless, that Netanyahu does not want the hostages. It seems that he wants just the continuation of war, as we have warned from the very beginning. Even the military of Israel has said that the war has no any addition it can give. What's needed now is a political settlement, and Netanyahu refused to do that. Hostages' family are saying the same. Trump said that the war in Gaza is brutal and the blockade of it need to stop. So now Israel is isolated from the entire world political opinion and vision to stop this war and to create a ceasefire.
What do you see the next happening in this evolving situation? Which way are things headed in the next few days?
We are witnessing a war of extermination. This is a genocide of extreme horror. The world now need to move quickly and swiftly to stop this madness. The world now is organizing to go to the UN. The Spain Prime Minister has just recently said that they will provide a plan to the United Nations to stop the war in Gaza, as well as today the Arab Summit has unanimously declared the adoption of the Arab plan and to push forward the Arab plan to reconstruct and create a ceasefire. Hamas, by the way, has also declared that they are willing to give all the hostages. Nothing remained within Netanyahu's hand to continue this massacre. It cannot continue, and the world is rising. Nobody can take care or can accept the costs of such catastrophe and the humanitarian catastrophe, not the region, not the world. I see that the world is now uniting to put pressure against Israel for their crimes against humanity, and this needs to stop immediately. As well as the United States are now realizing that they are aiding and supporting a genocide.
Okay, final question then to on aid. Is that important? To get aid as fast as possible into Gaza for the people there.
Of course, it's crucial. People are dying, children are dying. More than 50 children has been killed from starvation. This is a catastrophe, a humanitarian catastrophe in 2025. There is no food at all. People are eating not every day, like one meal a day, then wait for 24 hours, then to eat the second meal. They are dividing the little portions of the food they have left to survive. Many are dying from malnutrition. Elders are unable to walk or continue their life normally because of the lack of nutrition. Children are starving. This is a crime of unprecedented. This is horror. This is brutality, vicious crime by the Israeli army that is unspeakable. And I am surprised that the world is still silent watching this man-made starvation continuing for more than 580 days. And the last 60 days, nothing entered. Now the United Nations has spoken a lot about this topic. The governments are all pressuring, open the gates. What is the point of starving the Palestinians in Gaza? If they are warring with Hamas, yes. I have to ask, more than 100 tons of missiles has been dropped in Gaza. There is no more than Hamas, with its highest estimation, there are no more than 20,000.
Okay. Ahmed Fatouth, appreciate you joining us with your perspective on that big story. Meanwhile, the 34th Arab League Summit has